Okay, so some stories you hear are just wild. And this one is an absolute masterclass in just how weird crime can get. We're diving into an insurance fraud case that is, and I'm not exaggerating, one of the most bizarre schemes I have ever heard of.
I mean, it's a question you've probably never even thought to ask, right? But it's at the very heart of this whole crazy story. Seriously, think about it. Where would you even start? The whole thing just seems impossibly complicated.
Well, if you're a few folks from LA County, the answer is, well, it's surprisingly simple. You get a bear suit. Yeah. You put a person in it, and you let them go to town on some really expensive cars.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, this has to be some kind of weird one-time thing, right? A spur-of-the-moment, what-if kind of idea. But nope, you'd be wrong. These folks were ambitious. They didn't just go after one car, they went for the hat trick.
And this is where things start to look, let's just say, a little suspicious. You've got a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a G-Wagon, and a Mercedes sedan. And the story for all of them? Attacked by a bear. In the same place. On the same day. For an investigator, that isn't just a red flag. That is a whole 4th of July parade of red flags marching down Main Street. And look, we're not talking about a small fender bender here. The total value of the claims they filed? A whopping $142,000. For that kind of money, you know the insurance companies are going to take a closer look. Of course, right? A plan this bold was bound to get some attention. So how did the investigators start to unravel this very furry mystery? Okay, so it all kicked off when the insurance company got the claim for the Rolls-Royce and something just felt off. They flagged it, and once they started digging, boom, they found the other two nearly identical claims. Now get this, the suspects actually submitted security camera footage as their proof. They must have thought they were geniuses. But that move, that was the exact thing that blew their whole plan up, because the investigators decided to call in an expert. And boom, this is the moment the whole case just cracks wide open. A biologist from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife takes one look at the video and basically says, yeah, no, the way it walked, the movements, everything was wrong. It wasn't a bear, it was, quote, clearly a human in a bear suit. Busted. So with the expert backing them up, investigators had everything they needed. It was time to unmask this bear once and for all. So, armed with that professional opinion, the detectives got a search warrant for the suspect's home. And they weren't just looking for paperwork, you know? They were on the hunt for something a little furrier. And they found it. The smoking gun. Or, in this case, the smoking bear suit. Just sitting there in a closet. It was the last piece of the puzzle. The undeniable proof that tied them directly to the whole scam. So, with the evidence in hand, the case officially moves from investigation to prosecution. It was time for the folks behind the bear suit to face the music. And here's how it all played out. The fake claims were filed back in January of 2024. By November of that year, police made the arrests. And then, by April of 2026, 3 of the individuals were officially convicted. So, what were they on the hook for? The big ones were conspiracy and, of course, insurance fraud. And the sentence? 180 days in jail. But, interestingly, they got to serve it through a weekend program. But wait, there's more. The jail time wasn't the end of it. Nope, they also had to pay the money back. First up, one of the defendants, Althea Zuckerman, was ordered to pay back around $55,000. And her partner in crime, Ruben Tamrazian, he got hit with a similar bill, about $52,000. Now, there are 2 others. The third person convicted, Vahe Muratkhanian, is still waiting to find out how much he has to pay back, and the fourth person involved, Ararat Shirkaninian, well, his case is still going on. He has a hearing coming up. And you know, it's easy to laugh at the whole guy in a bear suit thing, but here's the real takeaway. The insurance commissioner, Ricardo Lara, put it perfectly. He said this kind of thing, insurance fraud, is a really serious crime. It's not victimless. Because when people do this, it makes insurance more expensive for everybody. For you, for me, for all of us.
I mean, seriously, it's pretty hard to top this one for a completely wild excuse that was actually caught on camera. And that got me thinking, what's the absolute craziest excuse you've ever heard?